This summer at Real Madrid is, without exaggeration, a historic period. Since the team's old-timers are slowly starting to leave, Florentino Perez plans to gather new Galacticos. The transfer budget is a whopping 500 million euros. Fasten your seatbelts, guys, as we are about to begin. Let's get going! Real Madrid is the most successful club in the history of the #1 game. How do they do it? All thanks to planning and impressive hunting for elite performers. All services work like a Swiss watch, reliably and always on time. For many years, the football community has been discussing how Los Blancos heavily rely on its old players, as considered by football standards. Carvajal is 31, Kroos is 33, Modric is 37, and Benzema is 35. So at one point, the first long-term leaders of the great Real Madrid left the club. Cristiano Ronaldo left the Santiago Bernabeu back in 2018. A year later, it was Keylor Navas, Sergio Ramos, and Rafael Varane left the Whites in 2021. Then, in the summer of 2022, we saw Marcelo, Isco, Bale, and Casemiro finishing their own cycles. In most cases, when the cycle of a legendary club comes to an end, many of them are unable to withstand new challenges. Just think of AC Milan as an example. However, Madrid did not even notice the departure of its stars, adding the necessary components to keep the mechanism running smoothly season after season. Throughout the squad overhaul, new stars have shown at the Santiago Bernabeu with some really impressive signings: Courtois, Militao, Alaba, Rudiger, Mendy, Valverde, Camavinga, Tchouaméni, Vinicius Jr., and Rodrigo. Of course, there were unsuccessful deals. Think of Hazard and Mariano. Truly legendary players, but in a completely opposite context. Real Madrid supporters only dreamed that their stay in the roster would not last long. And then came this summer. Blancos are once again undergoing a major restructuring, and the club needs new fresh blood. The Merengues also parted ways with their icon Karim Benzema, who decided to earn money for a comfortable old age in Saudi Arabia, namely in the local Al Ittihad. On the other hand, Marco Asensio decided not to renew his contract and left for PSG. Therefore, only Lucas Vázquez, Nacho, Carvajal, Kroos, and Modric still remained at the club, partially reminding of that European powerhouse that took 3 Champions League titles in a row. This era has come to its logical conclusion. Real needs new heroes, and Madrid already found them and is chasing them. Real Madrid have always been famous for knowing how to recruit super-duper megastars. This particular ability of Merengues' board has become especially noticeable when the club was headed by Florentino Perez. The first arrival of the great president of Madrid took place in 2000 and ended in 2006. During this period, the official acquired many incredible performers, such as Luis Figo, Zinedine Zidane, Ronaldo, and David Beckham, not to mention the transfer of Michael Owen. Uncle Florentino came to power for a second spell in the summer of 2009. And what a transfer campaign he arranged! Ronaldo, Benzema, Kaká, Xabi Alonso, and some other players who became the team's valuable assets in one way or another. Real Madrid are once again having the summer of changes. Los Blancos have been accumulating money for quite a while making timely infusions into the team like Courtois, 35 million euros, Vinicius, 45 million, Militao, 50 million, Ferland Mendy, 48 million, Rodrigo, 40 million, Alaba, for free, Camavinga, 31 million, Rudiger, for free, and Tchouaméni, 80 million. We gave examples of newcomers of different years who were able to find their place in the first team. Besides, a new prodigy of Brazilian football has already been acquired, 16-year-old striker Endrick, for 35 million euros, who is also predicted to have a great future. This summer, Real Madrid will certainly go all in. As we said at the beginning of the video, Florentino Perez and the board of Madrid directors have decided to spend 500 million euros on transfers. Whom do the Whites want to buy for this massive budget? According to the latest info, the sum could be spent on 4 big names: Jude Bellingham, Kai Havertz, Alphonso Davies, and Kylian Mbappe. Until recently, Harry Kane was also in the list of potential signings, though after the escalated Mbappe saga with the reluctance to extend his agreement with PSG, the Englishman's candidacy took a back seat. So, what have Spanish giants accomplished at this point? The first signing of Galacticos level is confirmed to be Jude Bellingham. Right, he is not moving to Madrid in superstar status. Certainly a top player, but young enough with no major trophies behind his belt yet. Last season was a breakthrough for the 19-year-old Englishman. He almost led Dortmund to the Bundesliga triumph. Jude has a very strong campaign in terms of statistics too. 42 appearances, 14 goals, and 7 assists. The most productive run of his career. A performance of such a top quality did not go unnoticed, and Bellingham was eventually named as MVP of the 2022-23 Bundesliga season. Maybe if not for his injury at the end of the title race, maybe Borussia Dortmund would have won the whole thing. In order to land Jude's deal, Florentino Perez has agreed to pay 100 million euros plus possible bonuses, with his contract valid until the summer of 2029. This way, the Whites took care of the future of its midfield, gathering players who can define an era in world football in one squad. 19-year-old Bellingham, 20-year-old Camavinga, 23-year-old Tchouaméni, and 24-year-old Federico Valverde. Great business! The next top transfer should involve Kai Havertz, the mega-talented Chelsea ace, whom even Zinedine Zidane still wanted to poach to Real. Difficult negotiations are currently ongoing. Madrid have no intention to pay more than 60 million euros for the German, but the transfer itself will most likely to be completed. The situation with Alphonso Davies is more convoluted. Bayern does not want to let him go, and his contract expires in the summer of 2025. Perhaps in this case, Madrid will simply wait to sign the jet-fast Canadian next summer when the transfer fee will be slightly reduced. Then Alphonso will announce his desire to leave, and the Rotten will be forced to deal with Spanish Goliaths. Now Alphonso is valued at least 70 million euros. Kylian Mbappe is Florentino Perez's dream forward. The Real Madrid president wants the attacking trio to consist of 3 phenomenal performances: Vinicius, Mbappe, and Rodrigo. Apparently, Kylian himself doesn't want to renew his contract with PSG until the summer of 2025, and therefore, chances of his departure to the Santiago Bernabeu already this summer are growing increasingly. But one has to be realistic. Paris will fight to the last bit in order not to sell the main star of their project to Madrid, while Mbappe himself has already used the latter once for his own purposes, namely to get himself a 300 million euro salary contract. Everything depends on Mbappe. Even in the worst-case scenario, he will still end up at Real. In case PSG decides to slap the unimaginable price tag of, for example, 400 million euros for his services, then the merengues should better wait until the summer of 2024, when Kylian can move to the Spanish capital as a free agent. But if it turns out that Mbappe is playing his mind games just to get what he wants in the new improved conditions at Paris Saint-Germain once again, then the path to Real Madrid will be closed for him forever. Therefore, the Vikings' bosses are already looking for other options. No, we are not talking about Erling Haaland. He is happy in Man City. He just won the treble. The Norwegian doesn't plan to change things yet. Real Madrid considered Tottenham Hotspur's Harry Kane and Inter Milan's Lautaro Martinez to be strikers of enough quality to replace Karim Benzema. After all, the football world doesn't end with Mbappe and Haaland alone. Both are their club's top goal scorers who have outgrown the level of their respective teams, but negotiations for them will be rather difficult. Los Blancos have no wish to pay 100 million euros plus for a forward who will turn 30 this year. By that forward, we mean Harry Kane, of course. The option with Lautaro looks a little cheaper. Inter can let their leader go for 80 to 90 million euros. Folks, whom would you buy if you were Florentino Perez? Would you wait for Mbappe, or would you buy Kane or Lautaro right now? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Real Madrid will have a noisy summer. You can definitely not doubt this. After being beaten by Man City in the Champions League semi-finals and losing the La Liga trophy to Barcelona, Florentino Perez and the Madrid board will be determined to come back even stronger in the next season. Thus, keep an eye on Real Madrid's transfer window. Things may get very interesting there. It was Inside Football. We watch football from a different angle. Stay tuned to our channel and check out the video about Lionel Messi's shocking departure to Inter Miami.